All right, I was going to have Phoenix Media. Meeting Eddie Siki. Now, I was saying that's sorry, letter 10 every MPP Maba. Now, per this letterhead, a dino group dear daso, yes, I say, every MPP lawyer for my common wabu, Nebusia. Nina, and say, the warning, any message, echo, Ediama, Ukupimo, Joy News, lawyer Samson Ladiono, the host of Joy Newsfile on Saturdays. Now, how in say, Samson Ladi, Abusia. Etimi akoka nsem bi in this video na eno ene de letter wi etimi aba na letter wi mu say these are lawyers speaking in favor of Kennedy Agyapong. Na de omo pa che ni say omo ma lawyer Samson Ladi 7 days from the day of the release of this letter, which means that letter wi eba enra the 18th of May 2025. So omo ma 7 days. So 7 days in a pa ho a omo expect say obetimi apologize na wa retract overstatement a umeki ye ewo video ma mebo amweti. Now say letter no him say sa conditions ni enyina ama so after the 7 days then the fourth move on baby ki and say omekwa kopiemu ewo court na lawyer Samson Ladi ono so omatimi akosi no heavily because we defame Kennedy Agyapong. Now baby say there na echo ni nyina ne say in this video every Saturday on Joy Newsfile na lawyer Samson Ladi program a segment bi a what in this Samson stick where he reacts personally on one sharing opinions on issues that are trending in the week. Now, in Saturday's episode, the Oye and say the Kennedy Agyapong versus Anas case, of course, US and no a lawyer Samson Ladi making a reaction. Now, reaction will make here in this video and simply or kind now who say a hash kakra as a or attack Kennedy Agyapong personally. Now, as part of Nimsimbi or kind of video, with me, say Kennedy Agyapong. He made his money through politics. Now, through politics, he made his money through what he called lootocratic politics. Not just say it has more to do with looting and exploiting resources. And when the Kennedy Agyapong, and I say no or compare Kennedy Agyapong cases are any defamatory cases across Ghana to the course of US, where he says, so compare the Anas case, any Kennedy Agyapong case now, you can tell, say, as a Ghana, judges nibi feeling intimidated my judgment no intimi nko said isi ekono na busia yanko tie lawyer Samson Ladi exactly what he said. But before this particular video and run okay during the first time ebra 18 million jury judgment no and I say the jury verdict 18 by no Samson Ladi edi kan make first reaction and sana about a month later after the $500 final judgment no wodi enedi di uhu ankasa ebeso so busia for context Metimi and the Yaku who the first one, Yentimi Konko T first one. Now pay the second reaction a follow up to the $500 judgment and I said last Saturday, something like the reacting and Sandy Abaha. Yabe collecting exactly what the concerned lawyers of NPP Ena Omoka, Ebusayan Shasi.
And I begin as usual with my take. And I'm asking a very simple question. Anas, will he quit catching nation wreckers, the bad guys? The name Anas Arimiyahu Anas has seen many dishonest officials named, shamed, and jailed. Some were cheating poor orphans at the orphanage. Some were stealing at the ports and got Professor Mills angry. Some were selling justice and they got Judge Georgina Wood, kicked them out of the courts. He caught others, shortchanging the country, smuggling its precious cocoa. This country has used him to successfully fight the corrupt. Even in the court, politicians and presidents have made pledges about adopting his methods to fight corruption. And they got almost all of us loving and hailing Anas. But things have not been the same in recent times. He's human and subject to error and wrongdoing. I may disagree with him at times, but I refuse to join the crucify him calls. We will discuss the New Jersey jury's $18 million verdict in his favor. Whatever amount he gets eventually, I join him to celebrate his victory at this point. And whatever happens, I pray he is not discouraged from continuing his work, even if he may want to resort to the agent provocateur principle or the most hated quote-unquote entrapment model. This country is a place where people don't have classrooms to sit in and study, hospitals to take care of their health, or even food to eat at times. This country still loses over 3 billion United States dollars each year to corruption. We need those who will fight it and fight it right. And that will be my take. About the matter we discussed about Anas the other day. Look, if you are known to lie, to blackmail, and openly threaten journalists, even insult judges, and get away with it. Yes, if you can get away with treasonable comments because the plutocratic politics has handed you loads of money, it is understandable why you will pretend to rejoice over a judgment that indicts you, finds you guilty of telling untruths and falsehoods. In the Anas case, the jury gave him so much, but the judge later found that the maximum, according to the defamation law of New Jersey, in the circumstances of this case, was 500. He says he got what he really wanted, a judgment in his favor, because Agyapong could not prove any of his allegations against him in court. And that's how we do it in a civilized society. Yes, I can imagine the damage to the peddler of the falsehoods and the relief to the victor, the relief from what Justice Kolendi and Tanko later deprecated and washed their hands off. This will be my take.
All right, Auntie, following AN Sama, lawyer something like the Ekaye, ewo videos we mu started describing Agyapong say he made his money through plutocratic politics. And then say me bro kagu no fi no. And no, and lawyers he releases letter. Ya wo mudin concerned lawyers of NPP. Na busia in the letter no, or mama 4 conditions. The final one, which is the 4th point no, HM said the first 3 is when timia meetia, then omu ebetimi akopie mu court. And until when we mama 7 days untimi mpacho. Na busia yanko details of the letter if free NPP lawyers no etimi aba. Press statement by concerned NPP lawyers on the unethical and unprofessional conduct of Mr. Samson Lardy Ayenini, host of Newsfile on Joy News. We, the undersigned concerned NPP lawyers, are compelled to speak out in defense of the integrity of the Ghanaian judiciary and in protection of the professional and personal reputation of Honorable Kennedy Agyapong against the persistent, unethical, biased, and unprofessional conduct of Mr. Samson Lardy Ayenini, host of Newsfile on Joy News and a lawyer in Ghana. Mr. Ayenini's recent commentaries on his program has, in our view, crossed the boundaries of responsible journalism and professional ethics. His statements conflict legal analysis with inflammatory rhetorics and reveal a troubling pattern of behavior that undermines confidence in Ghana's judiciary, while simultaneously launching unprovoked and slanderous attacks on the character of Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Mr. Ayenini has persistently used his media platform to portray Honorable Kennedy Agyapong in a negative and prejudicial light. He has aired serious and often unfounded allegations against him without extending a fair opportunity for a response. This is a clear violation of the principles of fair and balanced journalism and an abuse of media responsibility. His use of phrases such as plutocratic politics and insinuations that Honorable Kennedy Agyapong has enriched himself through illicit means and influenced judicial outcomes through corrupt means are not only defamatory but are also not supported by judicial findings. These claims have either been dismissed in court or lack any evidentiary foundation. Such conduct is wholly inconsistent with the unethical standards expected of a journalist and, more critically, a lawyer of Mr. Ayenini's standing. By making unsubstantiated accusations on a public platform offering a right of reply, Mr. Ayenini has fallen short of the standards required by both the Ghana Journalists Association's Code of Ethics and the legal professional professional conduct and ethics rules. Equally, if not more troubling, is Mr. Ayenini's tendency to cast aspersions on the judiciary. His recent commentary implied that certain judges were complicit in allowing blackmail and treasonable comments to go unpunished and sought to discredit a full lawfully majority decision of the Supreme Court by glorifying dissenting opinions and implying corruption. Even more disturbing was his comparison of a Ghanaian Supreme Court decision with an unrelated judgment from a US court, concluding that that's how we do it in a civilized society. This irresponsible statement implies that Ghana's judiciary is uncivilized or inferior, an assertion that is not only offensive but deeply damaging to the public trust in our judicial system. Ghana's courts are the cornerstones of our democratic system, undermining their authority through careless and politicized commentary, especially by a senior lawyer. His conduct unbecoming of a member of the bar and a betrayal of professional responsibility. Mr. Anyenini's conduct violates known journalistic standards and principles of responsible media commentary. It demeans the legal profession and undermines the solemn duty lawyers owe to the administration of justice. As such, his actions constitute grounds for disciplinary action before the General Legal Council. We do not issue this statement lightly. However, as lawyers committed to the integrity of the legal system and the principles of fairness, we cannot remain silent when one of our own uses his dual platform as lawyer and journalist to malign others, promote biased narratives, and attack the very institutions that safeguard our democracy. We therefore give Mr. Anyenini 7 days from the date of this statement to publicly retract his offensive, unethical, and unprofessional remarks, demand that he cease using his platform to impugn the judiciary and malign Honorable Kennedy Agyapong under the guise of legal commentary, and warn that failure to do so will result in the following actions. 1. A formal petition to the National Media Commission (NMC) for violations of journalistic ethics. 2. A petition to the General Legal Council for misconduct and bringing the legal profession into disrepute. 3. A letter to Multimedia Group Limited calling on them to investigate and address the misuse of their platform for partisan and defamatory commentary. And 4. A court action to compel a retraction of those unfounded and defamatory comments. We reaffirm that this is not an attempt to curtail freedom of speech or media independence. Rather, it is a call for responsible speech, particularly from those who wield influence in shaping public discourse. As legal professionals committed to justice and truth, we will not sit idly by while our courts, our clients, and our country are dragged through the mud by biased media actors abusing the trust of the public. Signed, William Kusi Esquire, convener, concerned lawyers of NPP. All right, so we say a letter and then some abanabekaya. Already lawyer something like the Nankasan so you are bringing for defamation. So it is only fair and square as these lawyers acting on behalf of Kennedy Agyapong, and according to letter, which said they are trying to defend the integrity of Ghana's judiciary because per the statement and the description something like they describe it Ghana judiciary no comparing to ANAS and at the end with US. The film by the say as a Ghana some judges may bow to intimidation and threats. Now almost at me at the bias judgment because in part of the video me describing baby said you who are not case judgment that is how it is done in a civil society, which of course lawyers also me a highlight here will let him say such statements no can as a Ghana judgment any judges any court system no or one kasa acting as a journalist and as a lawyer in person no or one kasa crown or head the imbu. And so these lawyers are talking on two conditions, and I said omujine 2 pillars so na kasa. 1, omo kasa in favor of Kennedy Agyapong as a party member. I also a lawyer of lawyers of NPP no omo pese something like the ebegu Kennedy Agyapong hu fie nti no ma kire say ultimately retracting no apologize. Aside that, as lawyers I also a profession a law no omo esa chema lawyer something like the nkasa ene nku Kennedy Agyapong hu fie bet wasan akoso egu eye Ghana court enso ehu fi any judges ehu fi the judicial system enu ntia no nso wentimi emfa acheopa embra sa wanye sa dia then ombetimi akopiemu e court na afi nso defamation case ebetimi akoso over ensema something like the etimi ekaye ebusia e ha Phoenix Media me di besi ha me di edc chemical say na first time the channel obetimi subscribe to channel aside that the comment section is open obetimi so asha comment sebe ya yebetimi edi juma edi abum